Welcome to the Monstercast. I'm High Score Dragon.
This
I
is
am the alien tree.
this is Sleepy Hollow,
Hello, my name is Elijah.
and today we're gonna be doing the Amber Island.
Amber
boy.
Island.
Oh boy, it's this island. The overhated one.
Yeah, baby.
It's the most
Yeah,
controversial
because
one,
Amber Island is actually kind of underappreciated.
Yes, thank you, Liam.
and let's get into that,
We will see if it is underappreciated.
or if the hate was
Resisting urges
warranted.
here. Help us.
Okay,
literally
so
this
first things first, we gotta look at the first update and see just how far this island has come.
Dear.
So when this island came out, it was fucking Kana, Ziggurat, Glowl, Fangler, Flugel, and Yelmet. And
Mhm.
just from
This
that
was
alone,
five.
It-
Or wait, was it
no,
six?
it's six. It's six.
It's six.
I forgot
Yeah,
Ziggurat.
Six.
My
No,
bad.
bro, how did you
5,
forget
6
the
pickup
part-
Forgetting.
I'm sorry.
Imagine forgetting Sugar Rap. That's embarrassing.
I'm
Cigarette?
no. Okay. So
Don't
in the first update, we got the six, and they're pretty much the core six. Yeah, first
First
update and
island.
stuff. Um,
First update syndrome.
it was all right when it first came out.
Yeah, it was a.
One of the updates of all time. I
One
will
of the
say.
updates of all time. It got hyped up for like 3 months and it came out, and
pe-
yeah,
People, people,
Remember when
hate-
people thought it was going to be a Yelmet Quad Island?
no, that didn't
It-
quite
it-
happen.
It got hyped up for like
No,
a
because
few weeks.
Yelmet was on the teaser and it was in the MSM1 style, so people thought Yelmet was going to get an island.
Yep, then we got Amber Island and everyone's relics went to the shithole.
Except and then
True.
soon our relics built up.
And soon I have like 500 relics now. Thanks, Amber.
We went
I
into
have
the
a
Great
1,000.
Relic Depression and then the Great Relic Monopoly.
The Great Relic
Oh,
Depression.
I have 1,000.
That's so
You're
true.
on my level.
So from the first update, there's not a whole
There's a-
lot there. It was vaguely empty, vaguely simple. It was the
I
first
mean,
update. What do you
it's gotta
expect?
be empty if it's the first update.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Especially
first
'cause it-
update, but
It was like
as
32
you
Monster
were-
Island.
Martian Island on the first
Counter
update.
argument, Woblin Island.
Counter argument.
It was a first update, but as you'd expect from a first update from Toon Island, everyone hated it.
That's not,
Not
how
wrong.
First updates work.
I mean, there's also Magical Sanctum.
True, everyone loved Sanctum when it
Okay.
came out.
Yeah, people eat freaking Sanctum up, bro. It's
Yeah,
unreal.
y'all better be ready for when we talk about that and other islands.
Mhm.
All right, now, I'm gonna say my opinion on it. It was a fair start. We had set up like the first the first three verses.
We got half
I
the
almost
song.
said two because
No, it's technically 2 verses. Oh, actually, no. I guess you could argue it's like 3 verses.
Just for the sake of it, we're gonna say it's 3 verses.
Remember when
Yeah, that's
Flugel
fair.
was-
I'd say they're all pretty distinct a bit. Or maybe not in update 1, but as the updates went on, that it kind of you could argue it's 3 verses.
Remember when Flugel was glitching?
Glitch Glowl, my
Bro.
bay.
every monster was glitching back then. Yeah, okay,
That's true. When
we
Island came
got
out, there were
our
so many
fair
glitches.
share of glitches.
What up,
Like-
glitches?
Yeah, like Glitch Glowl.
Yeah, and then
but
with
when
the
Growl switched its track placements and Fangler was looping.
with
which I
the
think-
subpart
Which I
animations,
think-
everyone
which
just
I
kind of
think
assumed it was
Which I
rushed.
think was better for the time, but now with other monsters, it would not work well.
Yeah, I mean, if Glowl played his first track in the Flugelverse, it probably could have been a little bit better.
I don't think. I don't know
I think
about
it would
that
have
one.
sounded pog, honestly. I would
I
love
don't
to
know.
hear like a Glowl trap swapped version of like Amber Island.
That would be nice. I'm on the
It
case.
would, honestly.
Wow, incredible.
Nice statement, high score.
Of course.
So first update, it was all right. So
It's
now
okay.
we're just gonna
Alright,
take
King.
now we're just gonna take the
Yes.
full song. We're just gonna speed it
Alright,
up a
now,
year.
Now we're gonna roll right into it. Let's go. Who's ready? Are you
Rush,
ready?
Okay,
Low and
let's talk about
Truum.
Glowl.
So we gotta start off with the
No, let's
intro of the
talk about
song.
Ziggurat, 'cause Ziggurat technically plays before Glowl.
It literally does. The first thing you hear on Amber Island has always been that first thud it makes.
Good. So we gotta start off with the intro, and as all
Yeah,
intros
grab.
go, Well, not really. But this intro, I'm not gonna lie, this one's kind of not great.
Yeah, that's
What
fair.
do you mean hollow? It
Like
has glow.
ever since update 1, it's always just been that first little.
See, the problem with the intro is that it's just before Bowhead, it was fairly empty, but then Bowhead came on, and good lord, it's just such a terrible air filler. I just can't like this thing at all. Just ruined the intro
I
for me.
disagree. I think Bowhead has a pretty nice sound.
I think Bowhead's better than Glau, in all honesty.
No
Yeah, that's
way.
fair.
No, because
I mean, I can get behind Amber Glau. It's honestly one of the best Glau tracks, but it always needed. I'm of the opinion that Glau and Bowhead do it perfectly together, but that's just me.
I'm not.
yeah, and then yeah, then
Like
we
I can
have, of
see why
course,
people would say it clashes, but for me personally, I can get behind it.
See,
never
Bowhead's
liked
my
they
favorite Quinn.
they clash at the end of their tracks, but besides that, it's just both. First off, I don't like Bowhead's sound font. First of all, second of all,
Yeah, that's fair.
its track for some reason halfway through its track, it just decides to stop, and it kills the flow and the vibe for me. I'm just like, no thanks, no thanks.
It
So
would be
Yeah, I
fine.
can definitely. I've always been able to imagine Bowhead with like more notes, and it sounds pretty good in my head.
if it had like
I'm
more
not sure
stuff
why they
going
made it
for
like
it, and
that.
if I had a better
I
sound
think
font,
I think it'd be better
that'd
if it
be
just
great.
had like reverb or something, like reverb
Yeah,
or
in the
echo.
soundtrack they gave Bowhead a reverb,
That would
and it
that
sounds
would
a
that
lot
was
better
nice.
actually.
I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, everything in the soundtrack nowadays have.
I think the reason they don't give all the monsters that much reverb is because of how like the game works.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
gotta loop the
If
tracks, so
if they
that's why
had
you
like
because it
extra
takes more
reverb,
effort
Like
to
the
just put it
reverb
all
would have to be
together.
its own track, and they ended up doing that with some other monsters.
It's
Yeah,
like
we'll
it's
talk
like you
about that
they did
soon.
it. They didn't put reverb because they knew they had to like get to the second track because the first and second track aren't together. But like if they were together as one track, then they probably would have gone for the reverb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
I mean,
don't
that would
really
have been
know
fine
why they
because the
didn't go
two
for it.
tracks play directly after each other, so they could have at least included reverb in the second track and just the second track and not have it in the second track.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not sure why they did
it's
that.
just because the second track, it's not like the first one where it just stops. Like it stops right. What am I trying to say? Like it doesn't just stop before it ends. Like it just ends.
Like it just ends at the wrong time. I think you're trying to say.
Yeah, it just ends on a note, and it's like, yeah, it's like, never mind.
See, one thing I never like is
Yeah.
that but Glauco goes like da da at the end of the phrase, but then Bokeh goes da da, and I never like
No,
that.
no.
I
Bowhead
don't know
goes,
what it is, but I don't know if they even clash, but I just never like that it goes that way.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. Like, I'm not saying like, I mean, obviously, we're not gonna say like it's wrong if you don't like it. It doesn't bother me. Like it does
I kind
to
of feel
you.
like Bowhead adds
So I
that
guess
extra
saying that's an
flavor.
issue, it's very subjective because there's people who love Bowhead and people who hate it.
See, I would say like Bowhead is just very stiff. Like it feels very stiff, and that's why I don't like it.
Honestly, that's completely fair. I completely see what you mean by that.
Eh.
I'd
You
even
know
go
what?
as far to agree with that. I mean, I
You
can
know what
still
else?
get behind the monster. It's my favorite Quint, but like still.
Man, we can't do
Bowhead somewhere.
segues. I was gonna do. You know who else is stiff?
Wow,
Yes.
you are.
They
That's
probably talk about like candelabra or whatever.
we'll
Yeah,
get to
we'll get to
Candelabra.
Candelabra soon.
But anyone got anything else to say about the intro?
There's
It's
better
very-
intros, but I think
it's
Bowhead
definitely
saved the
intense.
intro for me. It's a
It's
very
definitely, it's
it's
definitely
one of the
it definitely has
more
tensions.
controversial monsters on the island, but
Yeah, like
For
it's
me-
part
for
of
me
the
personally.
whole controversial Ember
Bowhead
thing.
Wave caused me so much mental pain.
It's like it was so controversial when it came out. It's like
yeah, because everyone was like, it only plays in the first two verses, and it's like, bro, you asked for a monster to play in the intro, and they
see,
gave you.
everyone
you
got
guys
mad at it because it was
want.
a quint. That's the only reason why. If it was like stock, no
Yeah,
one would
that's
complain.
true. But the Quints had a lot to live up to, and
Most of them kind
I
of
mean,
didn't.
yeah, they're top bosses.
true.
See, I can
That
understand
is
it purely
true,
for the
man.
gameplay.
Yeah. Now. should we move on to the next verse?
Ah, yes, the best
The
verse of the song.
No, let's talk about the best verse for last, which is
No,
Waddle
we
verse.
gotta talk about the Tusky verse
yeah,
and why it's
we're
amazing.
going in order, Liam.
No.
Yeah, yeah, the Tusky verse.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, Tusky is
Look,
a
we can't talk about that verse without talking about the man himself, Manny from Ice Age.
True.
uh,
Manfred,
All
the
right.
mammoth from
Now,
Stage.
I think we should let our boy Hollow explain what he thinks about.
Yeah, we
Tusky
should
since
let
he's
the
so excited.
Tusky connoisseur speak for us here.
Yeah.
Tusky is
All right.
love. Tusky is
Take the
life. Tusky
stage,
is
Mr.
everything I love
Lawman.
in life. Basically, Tusky is what everything I wanted from Bowhead. A nice, gorgeous sounding background track that pretty much perfectly harmonizes with literally everything, especially Waddle. I mean, the thing, the fact that they went all out was the Waddle melody and had Tusky and his track harmonized with it. I think that was pitch perfect move on their part. That being said, besides just that, it's my god, it's just a perfect air filler. It's just like first off, the sound font is actually good this time. Second of all, the composition is simple, but I can get behind the simplicity because it just does so much. It it's like a major tone setter for the song, or not the song, the verse, because that verse was kind of I didn't really know what it was trying to be before Tusky, but then once Tusky came out, I was like, oh yes, now we got this deep, ominous, very nice sounding verse, and then not only that, but Tusky decides to do even more work because at the end of its track, it perfectly transitions into the next verse, which I really like. I just think Tusky is a perfect monster in every way, at least for the 9 seconds that it plays.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Amber Island is a song we had to be patient with, and Tusky
It
proved that we would be
it
eating
paid
good.
off.
Yeah, you
It paid
can't
off
have
in
them
the
with
end.
you can't have
It
them.
paid
Yeah.
off. For this,
I
You
really like
cannot
that
have
they
the
did
song
that
without
with
him.
Tusky. Like they each have their own sections to
Yeah.
fill in dead air.
Honestly,
Obviously, Tusky's a lot more interesting, but
Not only that, but
still,
like
it's cool that they did that, and it made sense when Tusky came out.
not only that, but like the
Tusky's like
verse in general, just even before Tusky, it was just a clear standout for me, because we got all the vocal
Yeah.
monsters in there, and by
Yeah, it's
God,
a clear standout because we got Waddle.
yeah, I was just about
Yeah.
to bring up Waddle because Waddle's perfect on this island in every single way, shape, and form. Jesus
Da,
Christ,
da,
they
da, da,
they
da,
perfected
da,
her.
da,
Well,
da,
she's
da,
already
da,
perfect, but
It's
she's still
ironic
great.
because I'm pretty sure Waddle's track is reused from Bone Island when
It's
Bone
this,
Island
it's
was
the same
planned to be a
melody from
fire
Bone
island.
Island.
Can I quickly?
It's honestly really surprising that they made it work.
Yeah.
They made it soar.
Yeah. And people say that actually. No, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say it.
And
I like
no,
Bone
besides
Island.
just
I like what it
Waddle,
does, and I don't think it overstays its welcome.
besides
Yeah,
just Waddle, you have all the other
Waddle-
vocals. You got Glowl, Thrumble, Fangler, Kena. They all just work
Yeah.
perfectly together.
Yeah.
And like you
Yeah,
had
we got-
Sigrab,
I really
Vivian.
like Waddle and Fangler's call and response.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
but
like
you also got like
da,
Thrumble
da,
and
da,
Kena
da,
just
da,
adding onto
da,
it,
Yeah, and
adding the
Thrumble,
layers.
it's so cool because it's like
Yeah, and then
those four
Thrumble-
monsters. It's like an entire musical line. You got Glau's ah, then you got Waddle's da, and then Thrumble's hum, and then Fangler's na, and then you just have Kana playing on top of it.
Yeah,
It
and then
just goes together
Kena
so well.
just finishes it all out. And I think,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
of course you got
It's a
Tusky to
great-
bring
Yeah,
it
Kana's the
to keep
finisher.
going.
Talk about don't forget about Tusky.
Yeah, and Tusky
Well,
just
yeah,
keeps it
Tusky
going.
is the background, and then obviously you have Zigrab and Vivane as the percussion.
Zigrab
Yeah,
keeps
you know what? Hollow's right. That verse is very well made.
that verse is
Tusky's
the most
freaking-
well made verse in the song. Just dear God, it's
Tusky's-
just structured
Tusky's
beautifully.
Okay, Tusky itself is sound is pretty addicting because you got the da 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 da.
That's so true. That's so true. That's so true. Like it just leads into
Excuse me.
as it goes on. It just leads into it so effortlessly. Like
Yeah, Tusky, it's really good at leading into their
it's
verses.
like I
just wanna say,
criticized
as
the
good
intro.
as much as I like Tusky, it is everyone and their mom. This was such a predictable Quint. Who would have guessed, or who would not have been who would have been surprised that the cold Quint was a mammoth? Everyone saw that coming. Oh, and then it used its freaking trunks to make it sound like that is so It's not bad. It's just extremely predictable.
It's predictable, but in a good way.
Yeah.
The surprise of
Yeah,
absolutely
because they took
nobody.
that idea and made it really good. But still, I was the only one who wasn't surprised that Tusky looked and played the way it did.
See, I criticized the intro for feeling very stiff. This verse is a complete opposite. It's flowing, it's moving, it's grooving, it's going all
Yeah.
out. It feels like it's breathing, it's alive. It's just mwah. It's perfect. That verse, perfect. Wouldn't change a thing. So
Yeah, I'd still argue the first verse with Bowhead is good. But
yeah,
like,
but
yeah,
like, come on,
I'd
it
say
ain't as good as
overall,
this
though,
one.
those first two verses of the song are very solid. Now,
They're great tension setters for
Like
what's to
they
come.
open up the song and set you up for what's coming next. Which
yeah, like there's that
Alright,
zesty
alright.
personality of the Fire Monsters, but like the Quints
Zesty,
especially,
really.
like they provide that like archaic eeriness as well.
see,
They're the
and like
background.
they
Yeah,
like those two verses had
the
their personality.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, that kind of went
Exactly.
down the drain as soon as Flugel starts playing. Well, not Flugel, but everything else
Shock,
other than
shock.
Flugel.
Yeah, I agree. Flugel.
Yeah, Flugel.
I agree.
Yeah,
Flugel ruins Amber Island.
Flugel ruined Amber Island.
I can't believe you guys.
Okay, let's
do
talk
this to
about.
me.
You're right, Hollow. Flugel is the
Alright,
worst
let's
monster on
talk-
Amber
I'm sorry.
Island.
I
Let's talk
misspoke.
about,
I
the-
misspoke. Forgive me, Elijah.
I will never. I don't forgive. I
No!
don't forgive. I kill.
Guys, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, you're gonna be dead. Care to explain yourself, buddy?
Okay.
Explain
I misspoke.
yourself.
I didn't
I'm
mean
at-
Flugel. I didn't mean Flugel. I meant everything else but Flugel. But anyways, I gotta talk about Flugel first. Flugel is very, very good. I like sound fun. I like melody. Very charismatic monster. Lots of personality. Love the monster. Everything else sucks.
I mean, yeah, you can't talk about Amber Island without talking about Flugel. Like, it wins the freaking Amber reruns every time by like 50%.
See, it's the
No-
thing about
no one
Flugel.
can top Flugel.
Even though it's like it's a more, I want to say more like, what's the word? It's like hyper, but what's
Yeah, Flugel, it's like
it's like
yeah, it's
more
like upbeat, but also
upbeat.
like
That's the word.
diminishing.
It's more upbeat, but it still stays true to like the more eeriness and darkerness of the first two verses. It's just
Yeah,
everything else
that's
that kind of
like
cuts
Amber
it.
Island's entire theme. There's like
It's like
really
lonely
bounciness
desert
to it, but
vibes.
there's also like that slight
There's a
like
hint of
melancholiness behind it. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Like it's
especially
got
with those
personality.
last notes. Like it just there's just like those
It's just a-
diminishing notes. It's just
It's just a
it's
hint
a
of
really
joy.
good track.
It's just
a
it's
hint
got
of joy in the
personality.
darkness.
That's what it has. It's got personality to those two
It's a
verses.
hint of joy
Yeah,
in the
bro, it's
darkness.
Flugel.
I'd say.
It's
Yeah,
like you're enjoying a
Flugel,
nice day out in the
Flugel
desert,
proving
but you're
that
in the
it
desert.
is the best fire monster as always.
See, that's
Because
where you're
it's-
wrong, because according to Hollow, Flugel ruined the verse.
I misspoke. I'm sorry.
I'm never letting you live this down. This will be your legacy.
Hey, Flugel ruined the first, not Edamimi. Totally not.
Totally not.
Like,
Bro,
guys-
I mean,
You
guys
did that
jack
to
shit in
yourself.
that verse.
Anyways,
you-
as I said, Flugel's like really
Exactly,
good.
That's why Edamimi doesn't ruin the verse. It does jack shit.
It all it does is air fill and it exists. Good job, Mimi. Good job. So as I said, I
are-
like
we are-
Flugel,
we
but
we
it's
are
just
legally-
everything else that I don't like.
All
So
right,
after
you know
the
what, I'm
first
listening.
update, I think Souza came out next, and oh my god, Souza on this island makes me very, very, very sad.
Buzz Lightyear
Yakuza
shelf
on this
moment.
island makes you have
Buzz
headaches.
Lightyear shelf.
I'm sorry. Okay, it's not even. Everyone says it's cause oh yeah, it goes off beat because rubato, but whatever. That's not my problem with it. My problem with it is that is this crappy little sound font that they chose for it, and it just I don't like it. It sounds so flat and unendearing. It's like you listen
You know
to the
what?
other.
I can respect that because
Yeah.
you don't like you actually have your that's a valid reason. It's not just oh it's offbeat, the worst thing MSM has ever made. Like I can honestly respect that.
Yeah.
I think-
The
I think
thing
it's
about
wrong
Souza
for-
is like you listen to the three other Souzas. They're like
Soundbite
big,
sounds
deep, powering sounds that just push the verses forward and just set up the whole thing and give it flair and
Not even
personality.
Light Souza
And like this
sounds-
Souza, for some, it's
even
just like
Light
it's
Souza sounds
background. Why is it
cool.
back? Like I mean, I get it's background because continent, but like it's just like I don't understand why they would have Souza play just kind of like what Flugel does, but like on the rubato, but whatever. It's just
Listen, bro, they were really proud of those first 5 notes. Okay?
yeah, and then they had Sousa do it, but it didn't work because the sound font on it was just abysmal and it not at
Yeah,
all
I mean,
what
I don't
Sousa
think
is
the
used to
words
doing.
because in the full song it's not that bad.
I just count.
But like individually, like I completely see what you mean.
Yeah, I just can't get over how
Yeah,
much of a downgrade
the
this
first
is.
few notes of Sousa's tracks perfectly duets with Flu, like the
Yeah, they harmonize very nice.
Yeah, they harmonize like Tusky and Waddle.
Yeah.
It's quite
Isn't that
literally
fun and quirky and awesome?
No.
it duets perfectly, it was a definite plus for this verse.
Then it
And then
just.
I mean, yeah, I enjoy Sue's on the silence, so I can get behind it.
Bro, Sousa honestly actually sounds drunk.
You know what?
No, I honestly really like that part.
I feel like if it was played on the cello, it would
yeah,
be nicer.
the more you listen to it, the more know you get to it.
See, if
The more you-
no,
okay.
if they did Bowhead, if
'Cause-
they had Bowhead do what
okay.
Sousa does, I would have liked that better because I think it would have been nicer to have that part on the cello rather than the sousaphone. Because
Yeah, but then
I just
oh,
don't
then
like
Sousa
how
could have done the intro.
yeah, put Sousa in the intro, give me that nice big powerful Sousa sound that I love so much. That would make me very very happy.
Sousa could have been Tusky actually.
Sousa could have
Like, they're
been
both very
Gautier.
brassy instruments.
Like it's
Yeah,
not terrible. It's just whatever.
Okay, we've talked about who else we
No,
talked about.
I want to talk about Sousa some more because like
Okay.
you know people like it, people hate it. Like see, there's valid reasons to like both sides, and like I don't know if we should mention like the offbeat because again, it's a very buzz shelf opinion, and we know it's intentional.
I don't mind it.
Like-
It's just I just don't like the sound file. That's my main issue with
Yeah, I
it.
don't mind it either. I think the reason it doesn't work for people is because you expect it to be on the beat and it's not, and so you like the flow is ruined.
Honestly,
It's not as bad the second time, but I do want to say that second track is like really good. Like
The second, yes,
they
the
lowered it
second-
like an octave or whatever you call it. Like
Okay.
it just
I-
goes. It's
Octave.
super awesome,
Yeah, the
Actually,
and the offbeat actually works for the second track. Like it's a really good. With all due
Yeah.
respect, Sousa helps the reprise of that verse sound fresh because like
Yeah,
oh it
that's
comes
the-
in
yeah.
and then the second and then loops, but then like there's more interest.
Yeah.
It's like interesting because Sousa and it's
Yeah.
very blaring too, so like you notice it.
I don't like
Yeah,
that
the-
reprise purely because it exists.
Okay, actually, I have a talking point of Sousa.
Sure.
Right.
What is it?
I actually have a reason why I don't like the offbeat, and it's because it's basically the same melody as the on-beat one, so it's like it really feels awkward. I feel like if it has like a
I
different
I
melody
agree with that.
afterwards, yeah.
I feel like if it would work if like the first time that verse came on, Sousa was on beat, and then when it reprised, Sousa would be off beat.
See, I kind of get what Tom was trying to do. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna use the whole Flugel's motif," but I just feel like it wasn't present enough to really work that well.
Yeah.
Tom was really proud of himself when he made that motif.
I mean, it's a good motif.
Tom is a good
Yeah, it
composer,
is.
we can agree on. Tom
it
is a
literally
good
is. Like,
composer.
Flu was the most popular monster on that island because of that motif.
Da-da-da-ba-ba-bum.
Tom is a good composer. We can all agree.
That's true.
Yeah, at the very, whether you like Amber Island or not, we gotta respect Tom
Yeah.
for the work he does.
True.
One thing I'll say.
Tom took over where Dave Kerr left. Tom took over where Dave Kerr left the blueprints.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that, honestly. I think Dave Kerr carried.
I mean, Dave Kerr
No
and Tom
shit, he
Carey.
carried.
They both
Yeah.
carry.
Yeah, Leon, get it right.
Get it right,
Okay,
Leon.
but Tom carried less than Dave Kerr.
What do you mean?
Bro,
Tom made less island.
Oh my god.
Tom's only been around for like 3 islands. We gotta give the man a shot.
I give the man a shot, and my shot is a bit. I don't know where I'm going with that.
I don't know.
It's the playing play.
Please get out, Zay.
Are there any other noteworthy monsters?
Um,
Just like Flugel and Sousa, because that verse has a lot.
See, I
of
still
good
got a
vibes.
lot to talk about the
Let's
verse.
talk about Yomut.
I still got a lot to
Yelnats
talk
and
about the
then-
verse.
then Sneezer. I think we should definitely talk about Sneezer after we. Talk
Okay,
about Yelnats.
Snizer. I don't like Snizer. Snizer.
I call it
Screw you, Leanne.
You say Sneezer, Snizer, potato,
It's
potato.
Snizer.
Everyone
'cause
says
Geyser.
Snizer. Listen, I don't like Snizer on the silent.
Okay.
How can you say that? It's like the best one.
No, I don't like it because it's like two notes and
It's not even
Yeah,
two
it's
notes.
almost like
dot
bass is
dot.
literally just like two notes.
It's just
Not
dot
even
dot
two.
dot dot. That's what it is, and I don't like it.
It's
See,
not even. It's duh, duh, duh,
It's the same
see, it
thing.
works because I think people were just really floored by Snyder being like, I mean, it's arguably one of the more controversial because people are like, what? Snyder doesn't play the whole song. It doesn't go, dude. Like, it was very
Yeah.
surprising for Snyder standards, and some
Yeah,
people like me like really get
See,
behind
I'll
it.
take it any day
Yeah,
over Oasis Nizer, but I still don't like it.
Yeah.
That's
Honestly,
fair.
it's only people only hate it because they were spoon fed by Raw Zebra. No offense. No offense to Raw Zebra, of course. He's a great.
Arrow's been holding that in, bro.
He's a, no offense to Raw Zebra, of course. He's also
Guys,
pretty good.
No, we hate Raw Zebra.
Guys, everybody
What do you-
hates Amber Island because he got spoon fed by Jake the Drake.
Of course. That's also kind of true. I can also agree with that.
Listen, they just got their
They-
expectation high.
Yeah, Amber was kind of ruined by the predictions because of the high expectations.
Yeah, I mean, everyone set their expectations too high, and lo and behold, they got disappointed.
Honestly, I actually agree with that. I think Amber did got ruined by the
Okay.
predictions.
Yeah.
So back to Snizer. I just think he's too simple. Like, I like a
mean,
good
he's a
simple
ba-
monster, but he's
Snyder's
just
always
way
been
too
pretty
simple. Like, well,
Snyder's
that's because
always
back
pretty
then he was like
simple.
an actual bass. Besides Oasis, he was like an actual
Yeah,
bass.
and he's still a
So
bass.
I could get
It's just he's just louder.
no, but
Yeah.
like I see it just like see if you compared like previous Snizers, not including Oasis because it sucks, but like actual good Snizers to this one.
Yeah, we can all agree.
Yeah, we can all agree Oasis the
I
worst
mean,
one.
everyone
Oasis-
agrees, but that's Fire
Oasis-
Oasis.
Yeah.
Oasis Sneezer isn't that bad, but Amber Sneezer was a nice return to form.
Yeah, anyways, as I was saying, so if you compare like the Dawn of Fire Snizers to this one, like they're both simple monsters. Like Snizer's always been a simple monster, but I can get behind the simplicity in the other islands because at least he like had a tremendous impact. Like you cannot remove him from any of his songs. Where like this island is like,
No, I disagree. Like people love like Snyder has a large impact on this island.
I don't agree.
You can hear Start of Fire Sneezer is cool. Besides space,
No, it's
it's cool. Besides space and its Dawn of Fire design.
Honestly, no offense to Space Snizer, but what are they on?
I still don't like I
I-
don't
I-
like
I-
this
yeah.
one. I just can't get
Yeah,
behind
hey,
it.
You cannot. I cannot hear Space Sneezer for the life.
I mean, I've been saying it before. Like, it's just it was a return to form from Oasis Snyder, and again, at the time it released, people were like, "Bro, why doesn't it play the whole song?" It's like they couldn't
Yeah.
because they made Bowhead and Tusky do bass for their parts. So
I mean,
yeah, that was the
I don't
plan.
think
It only made
I'm-
sense that Snyder exclusively plays where it does.
Yeah, but like
Okay, but
counter
then
argument. What
Bowhead
about all
without
the other
bass?
verses that don't have Tusky or Bowhead?
And yeah. I think we've said enough about Sneezer.
Yeah, it's just
Okay,
kind of
Who
okay.
else do we talk about?
Can we talk about Yelmut?
Oh yes, Yelmut.
We didn't talk about Yelmut. We didn't
Yelmet's
talk about
kind
that.
of an elephant in the room, which is ironic because Tusky's a mammoth.
I don't like Yelmet.
Yelmut, the one who started the Amber controversies.
Yup, and I still don't like
yeah.
him.
The yeller behind the slaughter, if you will.
Since you've been gone.
Listen, Yelmet, it's
I
like
can't believe
it
that
exists.
they had to sample Yelmet because the voice actor left.
Imagine.
Voice
Yeah.
that explains why Enchantling is bad.
Well, see, I can get behind that criticism because they didn't sample Flumux and his voice actor has been gone forever.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying no one else could yell like Yelmet or Enchantling's voice actor could. So yeah, they had to do what they had to do what they had to do.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
like
don't
people
like
just
it.
took it at face value, like they didn't think like, oh, maybe they had no other option. Like, no.
Why?
See,
No
they were
one
just
can
kind of
yell.
doomed then.
Come on, any person that doesn't have asthma could yell. You're saying that everybody in the Blue Bubble headquarters have that.
Look, it's not that they can't yell; it's that they need to make it sound like the monster.
Yeah.
They were just kind of like in this doom state, but and I still don't
Yeah.
like it. It's like it exists.
mean-
It just exists. So
Yelmet.
Yelmet, I don't like him. He's just kind of there to be a random air filler, and it's like
He's there,
I
but
don't
like
care.
he's one of the loudest monsters in the verse.
I just don't care about it. It doesn't do anything for me, and like
I do not care for Yelmet.
yeah. I mean,
Well,
it's
that's
not like
true.
Souza where I'm just like, oh my god, what did they do to you? I'm just like, yeah, they had no other option. Sucks to suck.
Yeah, like at least with Yelmet you can understand, but like at least it's a good track. Like
Nah.
Continent Yelmet is really good. So like at least they used a good track. Is there anything else we can talk about in that verse, or have we covered all that? No
So
worries.
everything
Can I
besides
talk
like
about
Souza
Ryzen?
and Snizer and yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty much just filler, air filler. They're all just filler, so there's literally nothing to talk about. I will say though,
Yeah.
there is something I gotta talk about. Is the reprise to the verse? I don't really know why it exists. Cause what is the point?
Because
It's just like it exists just to fill the island up in time,
well,
but
like
like
the island's got a structure, and
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
one.
but
It's an
I'm
important
just saying
verse.
I don't think it was warranted because you could just have the Flummox verse go into the Flower verse, and I don't think it would really change anything that much. So I'm just like
Eh,
I don't really like
No.
the fact that the island or that verse just loops again because
No, because then it would have just been like it would have been Tiao verse, Flummox verse, then Tiao verse again. Like that's a bit too fast paced.
then after that, Flomox verse again.
see, but there's
Yeah,
It would have been more
like that
bread-
verse would only exist like once, and like the structure would have made sense.
Yeah,
That's
it
kinda
would've been
good
more
point.
Bread and butter, if that makes sense. Yeah, like bread and butter, like
And again, Tom clearly intended that verse to loop again,
yeah,
That's true.
as evident with Souza's second track.
yeah.
Like it's not like they made this island like as they updated it. Like the island was definitely finished at some point for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we gonna talk about any of the returnees? Fangler doesn't exist.
Fangler doesn't exist.
Fangler doesn't exist in the Flugel verse.
No,
Glawool and
fills up that
Fangler.
tiniest bit of dead air.
Glawool
yeah,
is there.
let's talk about-
I'd
Fangler does
argue that every
nothing.
monster on Amber Island is important to the song.
I'll say Fangler does help for Kana's absence in the first part of the reprise.
I guess that's
I would
true.
agree.
Um,
Glau and Fangler also do it nice in that verse. They're not really the focus, but Glau's yell helps that verse.
it was especially apparent when the island first came out when there was nothing there.
It's when the island first came out and Glowl actually did more.
Glitch Glawool, I miss you so much.
No, because it
I do not.
released and then it was fine, and then randomly the island glitched, and then they fixed it like 3 waves later. And the island was still glitched.
I do not miss Glitch Glow.
I do. I miss you so much.
Please don't mind. Please don't mind Hollow. He's just dumb.
I'm gonna.
You said it for oh man.
I'm gonna cry.
I'm sorry. I'm a bit angsty. I'm just put on a lot of stress because we're talking about this island.
Angsty teen.
I mean, hey, at least Flugel's good.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Flugel's bad. You have to agree. You can only
Shut
agree with
up,
Paul's opinion. Everything he says
Drew.
is true.
Y'all got me.
No, not even he thinks that that's true.
Y'all
Okay,
got
we
No,
were
me.
just
you
talking
heard it
about-
himself. He said Flugel was bad, therefore.
We talk about Bisonorus.
Yeah, it's about time we move on to the next one. Yeah, the-
By Sonorous
the-
verse, more like
the
I'm falling asleep because it's so bad.
the Pong Ping / Bisonorus and Wing.
No,
/
remember when the
Kiawa
Pong
and-
Ping? Remember when the Pong Ping verse only had Pong Ping?
That was funny.
amazing.
Yeah.
And like
That
we were
was-
like so freaking worried that about the direction Amber Island's going because of the Pong Ping verse.
The Pong Ping verse. Listen, Rare Pong
Yeah,
Ping slaps
and
though.
Eventually that verse grew.
It's
into
literally
a-
me, bro.
Eventually that verse grew into a great verse.
I don't like this
Okay, so
verse at all.
Who do we talk about first?
Pong Ping.
Okay, listen.
Probably
Okay,
the
actually,
most
yeah, I have
impactful
nothing.
monster on that verse.
Okay, listen.
nothing
Hear me
to
out.
say about
Hear me out.
Pong
Hear me out. I don't like Tiawa or Willoughby. I
That goes
So
hard.
many-
listen,
Um,
listen. I
Please
just think they're
excuse
boring.
this dumbass.
I think they're very boring, and I'm not a fan of either of them. Let me start
Why,
with
you're
Willoughby.
gonna have the song without them?
I wouldn't have the song without them, but that's not really because Listen,
Okay, yeah.
it's just more of a reason why I don't like this island because it's just boring, and these guys are a part of my problem with it because they're boring.
Just
Honestly,
remove the monsters from the song, Hollow.
okay.
Yeah, but then it's worse.
I'll say what I want to say. Willoughby on this island, it probably wouldn't work well with the original sound font, but they tried, and I think, and honestly, I think this new sound font has its ups from the original. I think High Score would agree.
I actually honestly disagree.
I don't agree at
That goes
all.
hard.
All right, and Tiawa.
I think Wallaby
No,
really
I
should have
think-
kept the sound font.
I think everyone and their mother can hopefully agree that Amber Tiawa is best Tiawa. Besides the
No.
idiot in the group chat with us.
No, everyone vote for Continent Tiawa and be based.
Okay, but what about
Hollow,
Cloud
we all-
Tiawa?
No one cares about Cloud Tiawa.
Hey, no, guys.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Hollow doesn't like Tiawa because it has that design.
I don't like Tiawa's
Oh
design.
my
That is
God.
true.
We don't need to talk about Tiawa's design.
Okay,
Let's
but
talk
then
about
again,
the
Rare
song.
Tiawa kind of slaps.
Rare Tiawa
bro,
Rare Tiawa should just be the common, bro. It literally pulls off the freaking royal theme way better than the common.
Bro, I've been waiting for your opinion on Rare Tiawa ever since it came out, and I was waiting for like a month.
Did I never
We can all
say?
agree that Rare Tiawa bangs, but that's besides the point.
I think Rare Tiawa should have been the common shouldn't exist, and then probably Epic Tiawa should be the rare, maybe?
I don't know. I don't care.
Whatever.
That's a bit confusing. So that's basically my gist. Willoughby is good, probably wouldn't have worked with the original. Tiawa, Ember Tiawa, best Tiawa. That's it for the instrumentals.
I understand what Hollis, because
Wallaby just feels like it's original.
I think the reason, people were so floored by Amber Tiawa was because like it was new for Tiawa standards. It was just like that,
Like a marimba roll.
it was such a new thing for Tiawa that everyone was just like so like holy shit they did something and like
See, that's where you're
it's got,
wrong.
like, so many fast notes, like it's very stimulating.
See, that's where
and
you're wrong
I
because
guess
Cloud
it-
Tiawa
it
did the
really-
same.
It really what am I trying to say? Like I guess it appealed to people, but I also think Hall is right and says like that's really all Tiawa has. It's just those really fast hits. And once I guess you really take it in, it's like, oh, it's just those really fast hits. That's all it does.
Even then, like it did it before on Cloud Island. People just don't remember it.
Yeah,
didn't-
because
it didn't-
again,
I don't
it's
think
not
it
really
did
that
it on
worthy.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
did
think
it
it
on
did on
Cloud.
the-
It just had like a
It was
reverb effect.
more of a fade. It was more of a fade.
It was a fade in, but it did the thing. It was like da 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 da
No, it
da.
didn't sound like it. It didn't sound like it rolled. It was more like a. Dun, dun, dun.
But
Yeah,
it
that's
did.
besides
It did the
Should
same,
we move
anyways.
on to the vocals?
I'm still not done with
I-
Willoughby or
I-
Tiawa.
I had something I wanted to share about Willoughby. I think
Oh, okay.
I think it's fair to dislike Willoughby on this island, but again, it's kind of like those Amber Island expectations. Like it doesn't do what it always does. It's different. And it's like fair, like because like you can't really be mad at people for expecting Willoughby to keep doing what it's doing. But like I think what it still does is fair because like in my opinion, I think it sounds good. But it also means that Willoughby isn't limited to just going dun 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 dun. And even though I think it would have been good if Willoughby went dun 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 dun, like I think Amber Willoughby, if they ever approach the monster again, it means that they're no longer limited to that arc that it does. Like
Yeah,
they
just
can
like
do
Scar.
they can do more with the monster.
It's like
well.
it's like the Dawn of Fire Stogs.
See, I'm gonna rebuttal that because even though they did something different, it's also like the simplest thing known to man by just doing a scale.
Yeah, I agree. It's simple and like you don't have to like it, but like that doesn't mean that future Willoughbys can depart from traditional
Yeah,
Willoughbys
but what about the
and not be
Rutabaga?
simple as ever. Like
You say that like
like
Willoughby's gonna
string-
return.
yeah, like I'm just saying, like I mean, there's always fan made shit.
I
Yeah.
still don't like. I can get behind the scale, but like the scale
Bro,
just leads
honestly,
nowhere.
I think Wallaby kind of just sounds like composer rare quibble.
True.
It's not even a piano, bro. People who use freaking
What do you mean? Rare Quibble on Composer is a harpsichord, and so is this one. So there you go.
It's a harpsichord.
Yeah.
Oh
What's
my
a
God.
harpsichord?
I think we should move on to the vocals now.
I'm
The
not.
two vocals.
Yeah. So
Russian
vocals.
wink.
So you
Russian
got
wink.
Bisonorous and Wink. Bisonorous is pretty good, but Wink is actually terrible.
All right. Let me.
I think Wink is too loud.
Wink.
All right.
What do you mean? Wink does the same thing as Bisonorous.
Bison. We got Bisonorous. It obviously different voice because different person. It's more calm than its other two predecessors because the two were like dum diddly dum. Well, this one's like dum diddly dum did. And of course, it's got the echo of the of the emperor mixed with the bassy voice of the original of
Yeah, I
the
like this
common.
Bisonorous. It's like atmospheric, and I like that.
I'd say this is like second best Bison
See,
Norris.
Bisonorous has always been an atmospheric vocal.
And then Wink is just hilarious.
I hate Wink. I hate
cannot,
Wink on this island.
look, I cannot hate Wink. It sounds so gosh darn hilarious. That it sounds like a drunk Russian guy. No
Wink-
I
offense to-
agree
no-
with what Arrow says, but also like Hollow's got a point.
Like funny
Compared to
doesn't mean
everything that
good.
like that verse clearly has like a thing going on, and then Wink just like shits all over
Yeah,
it.
like
Yeah,
it. Like
if Wink
Bisonorous set
had,
it
like-
up to be atmospheric, and then Wink just like, nope, we're not doing that. How about
Wink
drunk
is
guy?
like the most consistently inconsistent monster ever.
That's true.
That's
I
fair.
don't. I just
Yeah.
don't like Wink
And-
as a monster.
Yeah,
That's fair.
if Wink and
Honestly,
Wink-
I don't even hate I think if it just wasn't as loud, it would work, and it does work.
I don't
'cause
even-
I have
Would it-
it
would
like
it-
I don't
would it
even
be
think
better-
that's
would it be
true
be-
because
would it be
I turn
better
it down
if
and
Wink
it's still
would it be-
horrible.
Would it be better if Wink and Bison Norris swapped?
No,
Place
I
it
think it
now.
would have been better if Wink had a
because
better
they were
vocal
meant to play where
performance.
they played, so like they wouldn't even sound better.
Yeah, true.
I think Wink could have had a better vocal performance.
Diddly dum.
Maybe they
Wait,
both-
we need to talk about Tring. We need to talk about Tring.
Oh, who cares about
yeah,
Tring?
The bet. Yeah, we gotta talk about the.
Yeah,
best
we got
Tring.
about we got.
We gotta talk about the best Tring. That isn't continent.
How dare you?
Yeah,
Well, it's
yeah,
better
Tring,
talking because
yeah,
Tring
Tring,
doesn't
yeah,
just go
of course.
ding. It doesn't
Yeah,
Tring.
I remember the build up for like Tring on Amber. Everyone was set for disappointment because it's Tring, of course. But then Tring does the impossible. It does a
Tring
triangle.
impressed us.
It does a dinner call roll that flawlessly transitions into from the Flugel verse to the
I have to
to that
agree.
verse.
Like
Because of the
Tring's
animation.
triangle roll transition is honestly really catchy.
And then it has
and
that
really
second
helps
track.
the song transition from verses.
And then it has that second track that's just a single ding, which is like, yeah, that's basically what Tring does. And then it does it again for like the.
It's
for,
I
like,
guess what it's
transition
cool
to the
because
next
it's
verse.
not like a very harsh ding. It's a very soft ding, and it allows like the verses it plays in. It adds a bit more atmosphere to its verses.
like a ding and do.
Hero, I think you're very harsh in the
It's so
dinging.
good. It's so
Wait,
good. I'm
wait,
so
wait,
glad
wait.
that Tring
What did
they
you say,
did
Liam?
Tring justice on this island. They did as much as they could with it.
I think your impression of Tring is very harsh.
Yeah, this is scuff. Yeah, Amber. Everyone and their mother can agree Amber Tring is best Tring,
No.
except for the idiot in the group.
No, continent best.
Everybody knows.
I'm
who the
a
idiot of
true
the group is.
continent fan. Every continent monster's #1 best.
Yeah, and then of course we have the two percussionists. We have Pong Ping and Dromedary.
Punk Ping doesn't exist.
Well, technically it's
Dromedary.
Well, technically it's 3 with Tring, but you get my
Okay,
point.
but what
4
about
because
Incisor?
Incisor.
Oh my! I forgot. Instasaur. Oh, let me speak.
No,
up.
you said Incisor.
Incisor.
Please, look. I say monsters how I like it.
No,
Okay,
boo.
let me speak about Instasaur.
Boo.
Okay. Let me.
If you ain't
speak
saying it the right way, you ain't saying anything at all.
about, let me talk about Instasaur. Instasaur, it doesn't do much, which is obviously because it's Instasaur. Let's be real. But it's like Cloud Out Instasaur, but it like works. Like it goes.
What do you mean, bro? Cloud Islands.
And then it responds with Tring. Like you go,
Yeah,
fiber slaps.
they
and
do
then
have a
Tring.
nice call and response. That's a common theme that a lot of people point out with Amber Island.
Yeah, Amber.
Yeah, and then people get fed up with everything being call and response.
Yeah, and then string acts as also as like an accent to other percussionists, which brings us to the two main percussionists. We have we have Pong.
Yawa.
Let's talk about Pong.
Yawa is not percussion.
Okay, let's
It
first talk about
is.
Pong. Let's first talk about Pong Ping.
It
Pong
doesn't
Ping is
exist. Who
Pong
cares?
Ping.
Doesn't
Oh yeah,
exist.
Pong.
Next.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. Who cares? Moving on. Dromedary's awesome.
yeah. Then we have Best Quit
Arrow, you want
Dromedary.
to talk about a percussion monster that actually exists in that verse? Talk about dromedary, bitch.
Dromedary, more like
That's
my
what I'm trying
boy.
to transition.
Hey, yeah, true.
We got
How do
Best
you keep
Quit.
on
We got
using
Best
Pong
Quit.
Ping if dromedary exists?
I'm trying to assume, and then we have Best Quit Dromedary, aka the carrier of the verse, the songster of the
Dromedary,
verse.
it's like
Actually, according to
awesome.
Hollow, Tusky's the best Quint.
I mean, Tusky's only on. Well, Tusky still has to
Yeah.
go on Dawn of Fire, so can't really say that.
Yeah, we gotta wait till Tusky eventually gets onto the continent and the outer islands.
Then
But
I'll
for
say which one's the
Dromedary,
best one.
I think I'll wait. I'll let Hollow speak, then I'll talk about
Yeah,
my.
imagine saying the quints are bad because they're only on one island. That'd be a
Yeah,
cringe take.
I'll let Hollow speak on Dromedary, and then I'll say what I want to say.
So Dromedary is like really really sexy. It
Of
does
course.
the same
you're-
rhythm as like Wink
for
and
crab.
Repetillo, but like listen, Dromedary is just I think it pulls off the rhythm best because it's just a lot more fitting on the taiko than the drum kit. Because I'll get into why I don't like Repetillo on this island later, but
Yeah.
I think this Dromedary uh it's pretty much like it helps out by sonorous and stuff with like the more eerie,
But
not eerie.
dromedary doesn't have its original sound font.
Who cares?
And that's where I think it works best. Because this sound fun. I think this sound was actually better. All right. I guess it's my turn now.
Yeah,
Now,
you can talk.
Dromedary. This sound is, oh my god, it's addicting. Dromedary's sound is so addicting. I could listen to it for hours. Just a don't. And then we got the sound of the freaking the sticks clashing together in the form of the claws. Wow. Dude, when we thought that Dromedary was just going to be the drums, wow, we got proven wrong. Dromedary really went all in for its supposed last appearance, and it shows.
And it's not even just flashy. It's like actually helpful and beneficial to the song too. It makes
Yeah.
I mean,
It
until
makes-
it goes.
it makes by sonorous and Wink sound better too.
I wouldn't say
until
Wink.
The very
Dromedary goes
harsh
to
beats,
collecting the
like
MSM
it puts
composer.
emphasis on like the rum diddly dums, and it really helps that verse and the
Yeah,
monsters that play
then
with it.
and then it does the pause for like for like to let like Pong Ping shine. I think like dun 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 dun.
It's a very rhythmically interesting drum track.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, and then like I said about Incisor being an accent, like it goes dun dun dun, like
Arrow, you're not a voice actor for percussion monsters.
I'm trying to put a freaking emphasis.
Listen,
Arrow
let
will
him have
never
this.
be
Let
a
him have this.
beatboxer.
Let him have this.
I'm trying to explain the best way I can.
No.
here.
Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Yeah, let me cook. See, like it's like Dromedary and Incisor when Dromedary does the sticks thing. Incisor and String like accent it. Like you get what
Oh,
I'm
I
saying?
see what you mean. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't even say this is like too rhythmically interesting. I know what you're saying, but
Yeah,
like
I'm not saying it's the greatest thing ever. It's just benefit. It's
it's just like it does the rhythm that it like for other monsters does the best. And that's what it has going for it. That and it being a glorious taiko drum monster. And God, I love taiko drums.
Everyone and their mother can.
Wait a minute, Hollow. Dromedary's a drum monster.
It's a taiko drum monster.
Everyone can agree. Everyone, at least in this group chat, can agree Dromedary is best Quint.
Yeah. And then we got
Bowhead's still my favorite, but I think objectively Dromedary probably does actually. No, because like it's really hard. I think all the Quints are.
See, like on this
equally as
island
good.
specifically, I
Oh,
would
he
say
said
Tusky's the
hard?
best.
I did not say hard at all. I said they're equally as good.
Listen.
Yeah.
On this island specifically, I would say Tusky's the best.
Yeah, well, that's fair. You're a Tusky simp.
Exactly.
All right. I think.
And
now
then
we
Tring
get to
does
move
this little
on to the next
transition,
verse.
and then we get into the Flummox verse.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really funny because Hollow says like, I'm saying like, oh, Dromedary is like really interesting, and Hollow's like, I wouldn't say that, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, Dromedary's second track. It's just a thud.
It's just a thought. Like you got that incredibly endearing and fun little first track. How about just a single thud for the second track?
Imagine that's the only track
I mean, hey, at least
did.
Dromedary has a second.
At least it has a second track.
Everybody.
Oh, we can actually talk about Three Quins.
Yeah.
I mean, people say that track doesn't exist, but I'd argue it does. I think when that track is audible, it really helps.
Okay, this
you
verse.
you can if you go back and update before Dromedary, you can notice the difference between when the second track is
You
there.
can like if you mute like yeah, you go back and update like you
and
mute
honestly,
Dromedary like
if the
the
second
thump
track didn't
is
exist,
impactful.
if
Surprisingly,
the didn't exist, the transition between that verse and the beat and that verse would be much more harsh.
that is true. I agree with that.
Which brings us to the beat.
Gnarls!
Which brings us to the beats pop.
This
Do
verse
not call it
is like
pop.
okay.
Do not call it that.
Beat pop,
Yeah,
beat pop. I love beat pops.
Do not call it that.
Oh, I'm gonna get canceled for this.
Now,
Not skull.
let's first talk about the man himself, Flomox.
Okay, Flomox. I love Flomox. I've always loved this monster. Even to this day, this is one of the better Emmer monsters.
Yeah, Flomox is Flomox, and it does what it does. It has a more harsh voice, which is funnily the polar opposite to Bison Norris.
See, this Flomox is like
it goes
so
from a harsh
fun.
voice to a calm voice, but Flomox goes from a more calmer voice to a slightly harsher voice, like Kumbawayona.
See, for like Flomox, I for this Flomox, it's obviously more in line with what Continent Flomox is doing. I mean, it's like literally a motif of Continent Flomox, but whatever.
Yeah, and it has that added way. Like I don't get the last part of the track is called like way.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have the song without Flomox. That's a fact.
Yeah,
You really can't.
yeah. You
You
can't.
know what you could have the song without?
Bosques.
Candelabra.
I will actually defend Candelabra musically, but Bosques, I don't like Bosques.
Let's talk about monsters that do exist in this verse, please.
So pretty much
I'm-
everything
I'm-
else.
I'm gonna put these monsters as one: Rudy Toot and Krillby. They work together hand in hand.
Hot take, I don't like them.
Yeah. I'll speak first. So, Rudy Toot, of course, it's a step up from Psychic, aka the worst Rudy Toot.
Crap. Nope. No way. Not on my watch.
Not be hearing anyone out.
No, that's not on my watch, man. I'm gonna stand here for all the Psychic Rudy 2 enjoyers.
How can anything be worse?
Listen, I will stand up for my Psychic Rudy 2 enjoyers.
Let me speak. Okay, so we have Rudy 2 coming in like do do na 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 na, and we got Krillby like do do do, and then Krillby does that last dun, and after that stops, Rudy 2 immediately comes back, and then Krillby and then Krillby has its last note, and then the second track, you know.
Liam, what was that?
You are a terrible voice actor.
Oh my god.
Leon, please. This is not help. Leon, please. This is not helping.
Leon, stop projecting.
Oh, Berg roasted.
Rudy 2 and like I say, Rudy 2 and Krillby work hand in hand for the verse.
That being said, I don't like them.
Arrow has a point.
Let me explain. Okay, so we got Flomox. Flomox is nice. Naros is nice. Blah 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 blah. Then you got Rudy 2 and Krillby, and I've never gotten the hype behind these two. I like a simple monster. These guys are so painfully basic, and knowing these two, they could have been so much more. They did the whole Continent Flomox motif. I would have loved to see Rudy 2 motif somewhere in this song. That would have made me ascend, but it's just kind of like exists. Like,
I mean, that verse already makes me ascend anyway, but Hollow has a point in that they are very simple.
Like the compositions is just what makes me not care about them.
I mean, they're not bad compositions by any means, but
I guess
they're just too simple for your taste.
They're painfully average is my problem.
Right. maybe we can
That's
then
fair,
talk.
but
Like
I can kind of look past it,
even
and I
Plant
can.
Island
I
did
mean,
more.
I am not. I will say I am not the biggest fan of Kirby on this island as well,
Well,
but
okay.
I do think Rudy 2 is pretty good.
I'll give Rudy 2 one thing, it pops off in like the ending verse.
Yeah, and then of course, and then speaking of that verse, we have the one and only Chief
Candelabra.
No.
Yeah, we got Candelabra. Let's go.
Imagine putting
Yeah,
Gnarls and
yeah,
Candelabra side by side.
Candelabra and Gnarls have like the same
Yeah,
rhythm.
imagine.
Listen,
God,
this is a good
Lord.
time to
Yeah,
bring up the
okay, yeah.
whole.
Who, or which one of you guys wants to talk about Gnarls first?
That would be me. Anyways, so I think now's a good time to bring up the whole quality thing that everyone's always ranting about on this island. Like if you put or not Tusky, Jesus Christ, Gnarls and Candelabra side by side, you just notice like the difference in quality behind the two. And that's kind of like a talking point on this island. Like it's not consistent in quality. Some monsters are like amazingly animated or have godly sounds, and other ones are Barb or Buscus. And
Oh, we'll get to Barb.
we'll get
later,
to Barb, but
yeah.
it's still
Barbie.
relevant
We
because
get the throat cancer later.
it's part of the
So,
reason why Amber's so controversial, because of the difference in quality between
I agree with that,
monsters.
honestly.
Yeah, but Gnarls for a last at least natural monster. Man, does he put in the work and the hours.
Actually, Mimic is the last monster.
Actually, I'm about to slap you in the face.
I mean, last fire net. I'm going to have a hernia by the end of
No,
this.
Mimic doesn't exist because it's gonna come to the game and people are gonna be mad that it's not called Mimic and it doesn't look exactly like the concept art.
Yeah. Okay. So as I was saying, for a last natural fire monster, Gnarls puts in the work and the hours. From the concept to the actual composition, like from the look, it looks like you just get something basic, but then you hear the actual sound and it's majestic. It's everything you'd want in like a choir monster that isn't a sound font, and you just put it to a.
I would disagree. I would
It's
not
like an actual
compare.
recording of actual
No,
people
I
who
would
died.
not compare this
They
Gnarls.
really like making plant-based monsters with surprising mouths.
Yeah, I would not compare Gnarls to Continent Quester.
Yeah, you
That's
do too,
just
High
no.
Score.
That feels illegal. But
soon Gnarls will be on continent.
soon it
and
will
we
be
can
on Continent.
compare.
Then we can talk.
Yeah, Gnarls is gonna come to Continent. People are gonna say it's better than Forest.
If they
Yeah.
do,
Yours
I'll
is gonna
cry.
saved on a fire.
Yeah,
Saved on the
So
fire.
as I was saying, it has a great. It's like a great main melody to the verse. Where Florbox is like the bass. We have Gnarls doing his thing, just being the main vocals, and it's very much an air filler. But what used to be an empty verse, I'm literally listening to it right now just to prove my point.
Actually, Gnarls is not an instrumental, so it's not an instrumental foundation.
What are you going on about?
Instrumental or not, it puts
Well,
in the
blood
work.
is just waffling in it.
What
Yeah,
is
it-
blood
like
waffling
like,
about?
Like, you know, the like, you know what I'm saying. And then for the last part where it goes, yeah, yeah.
That part, those held. Uh, whatever you call those, that last part of the track is
those
godly.
Those last long notes could make an
Yeah,
old
long
man
notes.
cry. It's like literally the best part
It's
of Gnarls.
very.
and it's
Those are
entirety.
very good.
Hot take.
Like,
This
it's the
monster's
best
overrated
part
as
of
fuck.
Gnarls, and it's the reason why Gnarls is so beloved since for the last wave, since for the last fire monster to ever come to the game. Besides, if we ever get a hex, it really puts in the work.
Hot
It's
take.
worth
This
it.
monster's
Literally a fire
overrated. I don't.
monster.
I'm not a
Yeah.
huge fan of this monster.
I hate
Listen,
you.
I
Did you
think
say
it's
that?
it's fine. It's not great. It's fine. It does what it needs to do, but it ain't impressing me anytime soon. Not
Until it gets to continent.
until it gets to
Then-
Continent. There you go.
Then we'll see who's talking.
Then I will bow down to Snarls. But for now, I don't care about
think-
this
I think
monster.
that's everything about this verse that's of note.
Candelabra.
I was
Talk about-
betting on.
Listen,
let's
we've
talk
talked
about-
about literally everything except Candelabra.
Okay.
Do we have to
I'll-
talk
I'll-
about Candelabra?
It exists.
No,
Moving
no,
on.
I got this. I'll just talk about Candelabra. 5 notes. Okay, that's it. Let's
Okay,
move on
Candelabra.
to,
It exists. Moving on.
That's it. Yeah. Since we've already talked about the Yeoman versus Reprise, so we can go immediately into the Flower Barb.
Flower
Yo,
and Barb, they
I
exist.
can't
Moving on.
believe. Well, can we talk
All right,
about and Barb together?
They
Yeah,
exist. Moving
I
on.
think that's fair since we did Bisonosaurus and Link together.
They're literally the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care about
Except
these
one has
monsters.
throat cancer.
One has throat cancer.
Yeah, okay. I'll say Flower. Let's start with Flower. Flower does a more whispery voice for this verse, which I think is pretty cool.
I'm not too big a fan of the whisperiness. I think it should have just been like clear. Like,
Listen,
it is on
listen.
Light
After
Island
Light
or
Island,
anywhere else.
after Light
I
Island, the
think the
cat bar was kind of set.
whisperiness makes it sound kind of low quality, but I don't hate it.
Listen.
And then we have Flower, and then we have throat cancer. I mean Barb.
Throat cancer.
Okay, listen.
The story of Amber Barb has to be the funniest. Its voice is funny, but I don't think it's that bad.
I don't care about
How
it.
Arrow feels about Wink on this island is how I feel about Barb on this island. Like, it's so funny, I can't hate it.
I
And
just
I don't
never
even think
gave
it
a
sounds-
fuck
I
about
think it's
it.
better than Flower, honestly.
No. Oh, you just pissed off the
Yeah,
entire community.
I honestly, you can put in some points like it to
Yeah, I know people hate Barb on this island. I don't care. I think it's better than Flower because at least Barb is memorable. No one talks about Amber Island Flower.
God, no.
I mean,
let me
Flower
say-
is
let me
part of
say
the way with.
Yes, but no one talks about Flower with Barb. It's like, yo, it's the gahooga. Like,
Let me say-
That what was that? That sounded like Barb yassified.
Okay. Let me say something about Barb on this island. Instead
They
of flowers,
yassified Barb on Amber Island.
okay, guys. Let me say something about Barb on this island. I find it interesting that instead of just flowers interesting, Flower has more of a round like like if you get what I mean.
No, I don't. Actually, I don't.
I don't
That's
know
more-
what you're
that's more like a
talking
vocal-
about.
It has more of a vocal slide. If that
What is
makes
Blood
sense.
Baffling about?
It has more of a vocal slide to it, if that makes sense. And of course, as High Score said, it's memorable because it's hilariously funny /
Oh, you're talking about Barb.
Okay, listen.
Yeah,
Here's my
we're talking-
take. Here's my take. I don't hate Amber Barb because like, what is there to hate? I hated Wink for his crappy vocal performance because it just kind of shat on the tone of the verse, whereas this verse doesn't really have that. So there's really nothing here.
It's more of a remix to the original verse.
Well, this one kind of came first.
I think that's all we can talk about for these two.
Okay,
Talk
listen.
about
I got
Remy.
one thing to say
Let's
about
talk
Flower. I actually have a little bit to say about Flower. Okay, the thing about
Okay.
Flower is that, uh, it's just kind of a disappointment after seeing how much potential the monster had after Light. It's like it went for more a melodic thing in Light, which it never did before, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, that could pop off so hard, man!" And then it kind of did the same thing as it always did.
Yeah, I was actually looking forward to Flower. I was really anticipating Flower when the island was first coming out, and it just does Flower things. And it's like,
It's
oh,
like
okay.
it's the most
You can't
predictable, boring
really
thing you can
mess with a
imagine.
flower.
And Barb just
Yeah.
exists.
High Score was waiting for Flaw to come out, and then he does the Mr. Krabs face.
There's nothing really here, but one thing about this.
It's a surprise of absolutely no one.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This verse, I just got nothing to say except one thing that always pissed me off about it. Oh my god, what did they do to Ripatillo? My god,
Oh,
I'm
God.
so
Oh,
sorry,
oh my
Ripatillo.
Ripatillo was a drum kit. Who would have
Oh, God.
guessed?
Okay.
Hear me out. Hear me out on this
No,
one, cause I love
you
this
were-
monster.
I
Hear me out.
No, you don't. You clearly don't like
No,
Ripatillo.
no, hear me out. Hear me out.
Hollow is a massive. Our boy Hollow is a massive Rapatillo simp. So if you don't want to hear him complaining about his male wife, then just skip this part.
This is slander. This is harassment. No,
There's no one harassing and slandering Ripatillo.
no. I was just gonna talk about what they did to my boy, but no, I'm being slandered over
Oh my
here.
God. We are making Liam.
You seem
bigger
adamant
over
to
here.
slander Ripatillo, bro. What's wrong with
Okay, hear me out here. Hear me out. I'm passionate about this one, man. I'm passionate about this one. Okay. Oh, my boy. Oh, Repetillo.
Oh my
All right, all right. Let's let Hollow speak, and then we'll say what we think.
Okay, so
Oh, you just hate Ripatilla because it's a drum kit.
shut up, Leon. I'll hate you for a drum
High
kit.
Square's already said that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Lean,
let's,
you can't steal my joke and then
all
expect
right.
people to laugh.
Let's let Hollow say his tomfoolery.
So, Repetillo. So, why I hate Repetillo on this island is because it's fucking boring. You listen to literally the other three Repetillos, like Continent or Haven. Like, you, this man has been like clearly a fast, rhythmic, on like getting you hyped up for this song type of monster. And even like on Space Island, he was like slower paced, but it
But
could
yeah,
be.
they
Arrow,
totally like
stop playing MSM.
Bro has Oasis in the
totally
background.
spam it on Amber Island.
What was I
All right,
saying?
now where was Hollow?
What was I saying? All right, but what about Space Island? Space Island's not as fast as Continent or Haven. Well, to that I say it can be made up for the fact that at least it has an
What do
interesting
you mean?
rhythm.
What do
Which
you
this
mean? Space
Repetillo,
Island is
it's not
faster than
interesting. It's
Space Island is faster than Continent and
uh,
Haven, I think.
not really, but whatever. Like, but on like the three other islands, he's interesting. He's fun. He feels alive. This island, he's just like dead inside, and I can't get
Oh, he's
behind
just
it.
like me.
Yeah, he's just like
Hmm.
Liam for real. And I ugh, I just can't with this. It's such a big downgrade, and I hate it. So yeah,
Well, counterpoint, Hollow. Repetillo plays the drums on every island it's on.
what does?
Therefore,
All
is
right.
always
Uh,
bad.
Oh my
I'll
god,
say what I had to say for Repetillo.
I wouldn't say it's the best
Okay,
thing.
so what do we think about Amber Island as a whole?
Bad.
Yes, thank you, Lynn.
I think it's good. I don't think the hate for this island is warranted.
It's good because it has Edamimi in it.
My god,
I'd
Leon.
say
Third
Amber Island.
time, Leon.
All right. I'll say what I have to say. Amber Island has had one of the greatest comebacks in MSM history since its humble beginnings of being the most hated island to its ending of people finally coming around to it. That's gotta be one of the it goes to show how Big Blue Bubble are masterful game developers and masterful composers in their own right.
Oh yeah, we should talk about the gameplay and the animation.
No,
No.
Leon. We don't need to talk
doing
about that.
We don't need to, we're just talking about the song. So I'd say Amber it would be like a mid to high A tier.
Amber Island is one of my favorite songs in the game, in the franchise, actually.
It's a song.
Okay, if you remove the too high A tier in Arrow sentence, you get Hollow's opinion.
I would say this island's very bad.
I would disagree, but that's
Let me
fine.
let me get.
Hollow, it has Waddleverse.
It has Waddleverse, and that's all it has. After that, it's just boring nonsense.
I wouldn't call it that. That's probably I'd argue that's a bit too harsh.
This man's favorite song is Content, by the way.
Yeah, I like my songs tightly written. I can't speak.
Tightly rhythm.
Tightly rhythm. I like my songs tightly written and actually make me want to dance instead of making me want to fall asleep because I'm bored.
But if we're gonna talk about anything that's not really song work, I have to say that the lore of Amber being the Queen Colossal as opposed to Gold Island being the King Colossal is actually very interesting. Its Gold is like all five natural islands, and Amber is like with fire to it.
I wonder what Gold Island. I wonder what Gold Island is like with that is outside of the higher plane.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Amber being the two halves to the two fire islands joining into one, it's also a very neat concept for an island, which is it's also that I think yeah. I don't know what else to say.
I still don't like this island.
I've said enough.
I love this island.
Yeah, this island would be it's great to come back and listen to when you're doing your.
I think it's fair and perfectly acceptable to not like it because like the criticism and the problems are there. Like I have
See,
problems
my
with it,
problem
like,
with this island is that it's just lacking in rhythm. Like it's so boring and meh.
Hollow, I thought you don't
I
like.
can kind of see it, but like I don't know. I just enjoy this island every time.
I'm
I
not.
listen to
I'm.
it.
I'm still not a fan of this one. I fall asleep every time I listen to it. and that's not a good
Bro,
thing.
how can you
Yo,
fall asleep when Yelmet is going, hey?
No, that's when I get my rude awakening.
how much?
Wait a minute. So if you're awake, if you're woken up, then that means Tusky makes you fall asleep.
No, I love Tusky. I'm ascending in Tuskyverse. Screw you.
This man is something.
Wait, Hollow.
No, wait, no, I get it. Tusky makes you
Hollow.
ascend, then Yelmet verse gives you headache, and then Tiawa and Flummox makes you fall asleep, and then Yelmet reawakes you.
Exactly.
We
And
should
then I
put
have a
you
That's
headache.
how it goes. Okay.
And then I have a headache for the rest of the day.
This is no. Yeah. Kate, yeah. I think we've said all we've needed to say.
We're pretty mixed here, as all Amber discussions tend to be.
But people, yeah, Amber Island's controversial, as you can see.
Yeah.
What matters is that we respect each other's differences and not like
Yeah.
be toxic.
We respect our opinions for the most part.
No, we don't. Screw you.
Yeah.
I hate all of you.
I love you too, Hollow.
I hate you too, Hollow.
All right, Arrow, run the outro.
All right. Thank you for watching, everybody. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to, and maybe share your own opinion, and also subscribe to our separate channels.
Have opinions for yourselves, kids.
High
Unlike
scores,
Leanne.
Unlike
high scores,
Leanne.
fans and minds, especially minds. Come on, I need that talk show, please. And see you guys for the next Monstercast.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. Please help me get that voice acting career.